Good morning. We're gonna do some fascial maneuvers with dogs today. Sky ran over right as I was about to start the live, so we're gonna do a couple maneuvers with her. We ended last live with some movements, so we're gonna do one today. This one actually helps with the shoulders and the hips, so very easy movement to do. What you do is you can stand above them, and you've got the shoulder here. What I like to do is place both hands wide, and you're gonna push in and then twist your hands in counter rotation, okay? So the direction does matter. What I like to do is go both ways, feel which way has more tension, and then hold it there. If you hold it there for about 60 seconds, you'll start to feel the tension release. Now, I've done a lot of work with Sky, so she's very comfortable. Sometimes you gotta ease into it with your dog. They need to feel comfortable and know what you're doing. When you start doing therapy on them, all of a sudden they get a little bit scared sometimes. Okay, so that's the shoulders. Now what we're gonna do is the spine. So a lot of tension can build on the spine. But she's running away with her new shoulders. So what you can do, the same thing on the hips, and it really opens things up. She's now chasing something, but it really opens the tension up in the shoulder girdle, especially if a dog is walking on concrete a lot. Their hips and their shoulders are going to get really tight. She's now integrating, and what you want is after you do a maneuver with your doggo, let them walk around, let them integrate the changes, because when you walk, the fascia integrates. But she came over right as I was about to start, so I thought she wanted some more therapy, but she ran away now. Okay, do you have any dogs or pets that you've done maneuvers with? I could try and do one more. I'll do the spine release with her. Doing this now. Yeah. A lot of times dogs hold emotions. Yep, the dogs hold the emotions of the owners, and that ends up manifesting as a disease process. Usually the dog will have some sort of issue come up in their health that's a reflection of the parents. Sky, come here. Come on, sweetie. Are there maneuvers to help with patellas? Like the patella bone? I don't know what lactating patellas is. Yes, there's maneuvers to help with everything. Anytime you reduce stress in the body will begin to heal itself. It doesn't matter what it is. Any for when they are laying down. Yeah, you can do the organ reset. Here, actually. Sweetie. So now she's lying down. So you can actually do the organ reset. The organ reset, you can open up the fascia in their torso or their intestines just by stretching it. So in massage, usually you slide, but with fascial work, what you want to do is take two areas and just stretch it. And there's a lot of tension that builds around the shoulder here. So that's why that torque maneuver that we just did helps. But what you can do as well is you can pin one area and then use your other hand to push away and hold it. And as you hold it, you'll feel tension release in that area. So take two areas, split it apart. You can also take their arm, pin the shoulder girdle, and just slightly pull the arm out. And then you can add a little twist, so you can actually twist the arm one direction. And I can twist this hand too. And really you're looking to find the lines of tension. You'll feel it build. Yeah. You'll feel it build and then it'll release. Okay. How's that feel, Sky? You can also pull the ears. Ears are usually quite sensitive, but you can just pull them out, twist them, and pin the neck or the head. Do the other side. Remember, the fascia holds the muscles, the bones, the tendons, and the ligaments. So anytime you're stretching the fascia, everything else relaxes as a result. So let's see. Dogs hold a lot of emotions for the owners, and that's why doing the fascial maneuvers, not just on yourself, but also doing it with them, helps. The organ reset is really easy to do. You can do that on any pet. Head massages can really help in building trust. Yeah, you want to build trust. If it's a dog you don't know, then you could get bitten if you do it a little bit too aggressively. I like to ease into it. I really want to help one pup, but she always seems resistant. Yeah, they might seem resistant. Maybe you can ask for permission. You can say, is it okay if I help you? Or is it okay if I touch you? Is it okay if I work on you? And just by simply asking, they may give permission, because they just don't understand what you're doing. You're placing your hands on them, trying to move stuff around. That's not really speaking their language. So you can ask them. If you've asked them and then lightly move into it, it works. The organ reset, you're literally just placing your hands on two areas. So you place one hand on the trap neck area, and you place the other hand on the abdomen in different regions. Now, don't worry too much about what organs are where. You're basically just placing your hands in two spots. And like a battery, you're recharging the organs. Because we conduct electricity. So every cell in your body has an electrical charge. And when you rub your feet on a carpet, you can actually zap someone when you touch them with your finger. So we conduct electricity, and we can use that electricity in our hands to recharge and rebalance different areas of our body. And that's really what the organ reset is. Okay, so what would you like next, Sky? Okay. So we did the shoulder on both sides, and we also opened some stuff up through here. Now, what I was gonna do when she was laying down is actually take the spine like this, and when you're standing above them, you push your hands apart and hold it. So it gives a good stretch. The other area that I felt a lot of tension on her the other day was right here, just above the hip, in the lower back area. There's a lot of tension on the left side. So you can actually feel both sides and notice that there's a difference. That's the easiest way, is if you have contrast. But there's a massive blockage right here for her. So if I push in there really aggressively, it's probably going to be quite sensitive, and she might not let me. So what I like to do is just slowly put my hands there and start stretching it without any threat. And I'm just pinning one area, and I'm pulling apart the other side. I'm actually going to twist, create a little torquing pattern, because that creates friction. In all the layers of fascia. When you're dehydrated, or you have a lot of chemicals, or trauma, stress, the body becomes sticky. and things can't flow properly. Oh yeah, that's the sensitive spot. Okay. All right, so how do we get a good angle here? So we're gonna go chase a bird. I think she's gonna go hunting for a second. So what happens is we get really restricted and sticky in our fascia when we are dehydrated or we have a lot of chemicals, emotions, or trauma. And so what we're doing is we're just stretching the different areas to create friction, and that friction breaks up that stickiness so things can flow again. Now you can give your dogs like Power Kirk. If you have Power Kirk at home, you can give them diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth helps clean the parasites, but it also helps build the collagen or the connective tissue. And then depending on the dog, you can also give them minerals as well in their water. Alkaviva water would be ideal because it's hydrogenated, it's structured, and it's filtered. So you're gonna get way more of a result in terms of their health when you're giving them good water, minerals, food. Oh, there's a squirrel. She's hunting. It's really funny. She's our friendly neighborhood protector. Okay. Yeah, so diatomaceous earth, Alkaviva water, organic food, ideally. Dogs also, all food pretty much has a natural enzyme when it's raw, but the moment that you cook your food, you have to produce the enzymes to digest it. And dogs don't really have the ability to produce those enzymes, so they're not really supposed to eat human food. It's not good. Okay, so let's do a human maneuver since my subject ran away after a squirrel. We'll do one for the vagus nerve, but you can do it seated or standing up. Okay, I'm gonna do it squatting, but you can do it however you want. What we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the fascia in the front of the neck. That area holds a lot of tension, especially when we sit in chairs, when you wear bras, when you have surgeries or any issues in the front. So how do we open that up? You're gonna take your left hand and just pin the skin on the right side. And you can do it above the trap, right on the collarbone area there, and then your right hand is gonna go under the chin. And you're gonna separate the fascia between your fingers, stretching it. Okay, now while you're doing this, turn your head to the left and breathe in deep through the mouth. You can move around a little bit. You can change your hand position. Don't try to push too much bone. Think more fascia. Just through intention, you're going to access fascia. If you think about the muscles and the bones and forcing the body, it has a completely different reaction. Okay, let's do the other side. So right hand, pin the fascia down on the front of the neck. I like to use my clothes sometimes because it has a different grip. Sometimes the skin has a better grip. It just depends. So pin, take your left hand, push your chin to the right, look up and breathe. And relax. Let me know if you feel a shift. Vagus nerve's a big one because it connects the brain to the body. And there's a lot of tension that happens here. So when you release that one, you tend to feel a lot calmer. Let's see if my subject wants some more treatment. Oh, we've got another one, Caos. You haven't met Caos yet. Hola, Caos. Caos is what we call furniture. She doesn't move much. And she's got a lot of tension, actually. She's 13 or 14 years old. So one of the maneuvers I was going to show you with Sky is when you stand above them, you can pin the hips with your knees, and then you take your hands and you pin one hand on the lower spine and the upper hand goes above, and you just push the upper hand away from you. And you're stretching your hands apart. She's got a lot of tension in her spine. Okay, good. Now we can do the back hips, so same thing. You're twisting both hands opposite each other. Let's give you another angle here. So here, twist. Good. Okay, upper shoulders. So I'm twisting apart, remember? Okay, now we can do a little bit higher. So I'm not able to pin now, but I can still pin here. Okay, now go for a walk, house. She doesn't leave the house much. She's old, yes. This guy's the young one. Thomas and Kaus are 13 and 14, I think. And Kaus is a Libra, October 12th. Thomas is a Capricorn, and Sky we don't know. Okay, let's see. How do you feel after the... Oh, so you burped after the vagus nerve. Anybody else? Power Kirkini's running again. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you can give one capsule if they're really big too, but one capsule to half a capsule is enough for Power Kirk. If they're smaller, half a capsule. Just watch out for getting it on your hands. Are you pressing in or gently twisting? You press in and then twist. Like we'll do that right now. We'll do antler twist so you can get the feeling of it. So on antler twist, go on both sides here. You're gonna place your palms. So right hand, place the fingers back, and then left hand, place the fingers forward. Squeeze your head so you grip the fascia, and you go to the deeper layers, and then twist so your hands meet at top. And then hold it there. And then slowly move around. Now watch as you move. Now that you've pinned everything, you might get some adjustments in your head. I'm getting a bunch of adjustments. Your own little chiropractic adjustments. Okay. Sky. Okay. My dog is 15. She's full of tumors. Moves pretty good. Yeah, the maneuvers help. I mean, anything. Also, taking care of yourself as an owner. In the Parents Helping Children program, we're learning this where the parent does the maneuvers and then the children are becoming calmer and the children are starting to heal as well. So the food that you're giving your dog, the food that you're giving your child makes a big difference. I find when children eat a lot of chemicals, a lot of sugar, processed foods, they tend to be harder to work with. I mean, you're essentially teammates, and when you ask them to do something or ask them to support in some way, there's a lot more resistance and there's a lot more anxiousness or not aggression, but it's a lot harder to manage. So the idea is to reduce stress in yourself, clean your environment for your child, for your dog, and it makes everybody's life a lot easier. Okay, how did the antler twist feel today? Definitely felt the adjustments. Good. Do you twist the opposite direction? You can. However, usually there's a torque pattern. Most people have one direction that is favored. Going both ways isn't really necessary. For me, I only do one direction on a lot of my maneuvers. Even today now, I do totally twisted mostly on one side. I don't do it symmetrical. Peekaboo is only on one side. I do swinger and pullover only on one side. So I've now adapted the practice specifically to my body where the tension is, instead of doing everything symmetrical, because we don't live in a symmetrical world, so you shouldn't be treating your body symmetrically. When you start doing the fascial maneuvers, that makes sense, because you've got a lot of tension globally, and you may do things on both sides because there's a lot of tension. But once you start to really master the practice and you get deeper into it, you don't really need to do things on both sides. You want to do maybe 3-to-1, 5-to-1 ratio. Felt a release on the left side of my chest, needed that. Good. Any advice? Also, if you're in the 28-day life reset and you finished on the January 15th program, the Lifestyle Artist program starts tomorrow. So we're going to be revamping that program as well. There's weekly meetups, there's new content. The idea of the Lifestyle Artist Level 1 program is to start embodying the healthy lifestyle now that you've reset your stress and reset your life in the 28 days. What we're doing is we're building a funnel for people to learn about their bodies and heal themselves. And then as they progress into the Lifestyle Artist Level 2 programs, actually start to ask themselves the questions like, why am I here? What's my purpose? What do I want to do with my life? Because if I'm trying to decide what I want to do with my life, but I'm stressed, I'm going to make a very different decision than when I actually feel good. So we want to get you feeling good first, clean your environment, embodying a healthy lifestyle. And once you've done that, once you've reset your stress, reset yourself, then it's time to decide what you want to do with your life. And that's what the Lifestyle Artist Level 2 is for. So with that, we're going to end the live today. I will see you all maybe next week. We're going to Vegas and LA for podcasts this weekend. So we're going to have a lot of guests filling in on the lives and helping out. So you will get to know other members of our community. I please, if you can, support them, show up, share their content, and give them some feedback. We're growing a global community of people who want to share a message that you can heal yourself. And that's part of the process, is to give people the platform and the voice to do it. So thank you, everybody. I will see you next time.